Hey, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. What we're going to be doing today is going through basically a question that was asked. Should the SSA have to call attorneys before scheduling hearings? Okay. We're going to go through the answer. If you don't know who I am, that's fine. Just watch one of my zillions of videos that I have up. You'll get to check them out. I have more Social Security disability tutorial videos than any other attorney or human being on earth. So if you don't know me, that's probably a little bit surprising at this point. All right, my name's Attorney Walter Hnot. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. Let's go ahead and begin. The question that was asked via NOSCR, Volume 38, number, 8, August 2016 issue, page, I believe, 9. Yep, page 9. Many hearing offices have stopped calling attorneys to confirm scheduling of hearings, a significant step that avoids schedule conflicts, okay? The SSA's response, which always falls into the usual thing that I find, which is that they give a rule, then they basically go on to the next thing, which is quasi-analysis / answer, and then finally they conclude with, if there's still a problem, you can use this option, so conclusion / final answer. The their response is the following. Halix I-2-3-10 provides that hearing office staff will generally contact hearing participants to ascertain availability before scheduling a hearing. Many offices have worked out processes with representatives to obtain schedules, eliminating the need for a call. We encourage representatives to contact local hearing offices, management if they have concerns with scheduling. I've spoken with quite a few, about, 7 recently. This is including a small amount of time. It's much more than that over a period of longer amount of time. But 7 attorneys about this very same question. Because we will sometimes from the Jacksonville office, which I'm not happy with at all, the Jacksonville ODR office, get a notice from them, no call, but it'll be a notice, hey, the hearing's going to be on this date. We don't get this from the local Orlando office. The Orlando office for ODR is pretty darn amazing. They're really good. But the bottom line is that sometimes we just will not get a call. The offices that are really responsive and do call us, we have the best luck with scheduling with them. About 1 out of every 10 that is basically scheduled without a phone call will basically work out. But 9 out of 10 times, the problem is that if something's scheduled and we don't have a phone call at the firm, it's not going to work out. We're going to have to reschedule it. And the reason why is I'm in hearings all the time. Many, many times a week, many, many times a day. I'm in trials all the time. So the problem is how, which is why you always see me making these videos in the car, because I'm driving to some place making a video. So the problem is, how am I supposed to make my schedule magically work for their schedule if they don't give me a call ahead of time? Their answer falls into, like I said, that kind of categorical response of rule, analysis / answer, and then conclusion with final answer if you have an issue. Starts with the rule, Halix, then jumps into the, we've worked out a lot of processes with most representatives. I've spoken with like 7 attorneys recently about this. They have worked out 0 processes with every single one of them. And I'm talking about attorneys that are the bar chair of this county or this and that do this work. The guys that of all should have some sort of process. The process with my office is very simple. They call, usually with a couple, 3 or 4 hearings that need to be scheduled, and then we go ahead and work out the times and dates for all of them. That's how we do it. But that's directly in conflict with their answer, which I don't think is a fair answer in the beginning because it's not a true answer, in my opinion. I'm gonna put this one on the disingenuous meter. I'm gonna say this one's a full disingenuous. Okay. We're taught not to say it's a lie or blah, blah, blah like that, but certainly my area of practice for disability law, certainly in my geographic region, this one does not hold up. And here's the reason why. They basically said many offices have worked out processes with representatives to obtain schedules. In fact, they've done the opposite of that. Not too long ago, a year ago, they would not tell attorneys or the claimants which judge they had until basically the day of the hearing. And the reason why that is that they did not want attorneys only being available on days that certain judges would be available for scheduling purposes. because then the attorneys would always pick high percentage passage rate judges to be available for, right? So in fact, this whole, we have it worked out with processes with the law firms, in my case, in my situation, and the other 7 attorneys I asked, is completely wrong. It's erroneous. And the reason why is that they did the opposite. They said, no, we're purposely not going to, tell you this information, which is for that. Now, I understand it's not the exact same thing as scheduling a hearing, but it's part of it, because if they're not going to tell you, or if they're not going to say to the law firm, hey, what days are you usually available? Oh, I'm usually available on Monday, Thursday, Friday, right? If they're not allowing you to just choose those, because the attorney would then likely choose the days that the highest passage rate ALJs would be available, then there literally wouldn't be processes by which they would automatically know. Because think about it, what would the process be? Maybe an email with 3, options to choose from, or something like that. This is what I recommend to the SSA. Create an automatic call system that calls our office and gives us 3 times, 3 dates in which a claimant or multiple claimants could be scheduled. That's fine. That's totally simple and straightforward, right? That's a good deal. Or do an email. Hey, we need such and such, availability for around this time for this, right? That's it. That would work fine. But we don't have that. And classic thing with one of these SSA answers is that they'll say, hey, we have these processes. There's no processes that I've come across. And, but if there's a problem, hey, contact the manager of the ODAR office. So essentially, if there is a process, contact the manager of the local ODAR office. If there is no process, contact the manager of the local ODAR office. My point to you is this. When I read this, I thought, same thing as per the usual. Shrug the shoulders, smile with one of those half, kind of smiles, and realize, here we go, it's another governmental answer. We have processes put in place. Well, the process is that usually they'll call with multiple times as options. That system works. Why have we not made this the SSA has to call the representatives ahead of time? And if within so many days they don't get a response, they can just go ahead and set it for whatever they like. Why have we not done this? The claimants half the time don't have some sort of important meeting because most of them aren't working at that point because they've been waiting so long and they're so disabled that they can't do anything. The representatives have tons of hearings, trials, all that stuff. All these attorneys have to be somewhere all the time. So why don't we change the rule? Here it is, HALEX I-2-3-10, to say that, yes, the SSA has to call the representative. Why don't we change that law to be that? It makes more sense. Most of the SSA is doing that already. I've had a bunch of them from the ODAR Jacksonville office where they'll say, they'll just get a letter in the mail, hey, it's on such and such day, such and such time. My thing is this. Let's make this system straightforward, simple, and I know it can't be simple because, there's zillions of listings, griddings, vocational allowance, potentials, all this stuff. I mean, the DOT, to rewrite that thing would be just, it would be a miserable experience, right? But we don't have it down yet. Communication. Another thing I want to pick on real quick is the whole communication factor. How does the Social Security Administration not utilize mass email or lots of email? Why are we still having them send us tons and tons of letters? I understand that it, basically props up the, U.S. Post Office because all those SSA letters that go out, they utilize another governmental agency, which is the U.S. Post Office. And I get that. That's fine. But at some point, we need to sit back and realize that we are wasting paper, we are wasting forests, we are wasting stamps with ink, we are wasting a lot. The only thing it does is create jobs for the U.S. Post Office. Granted, we need the U.S. Post Office system. Should we be using the Social Security Administration, to bolster the post office? Well, we're in a complete depression right now as of 2016, so maybe. But let's get a plan together where we can go ahead and take steps to reduce the amount of actual, stamp and letter that we have to use with the Social Security Administration. That's another simple thing we could change. Just like this, it's another simple thing we could change. Have them call. If they don't get back to us within 5 or 10 days, cool, just schedule it for whatever day. The attorneys will call back. It's tough, and I get it, and I know that in order to make a law inside, the government, it's difficult. And in order to make a law/rule for a governmental agency is extremely difficult because there's so much red tape. I understand that. And the red tape is there so that we don't have laws that create real problems and discriminate against people or discriminate against systems or unbalance things. I get it. But if we just utilize email better and we just have them, they could email us 3 options for a particular claimant. It could be simple. Point and click. If none of these work, call this number, or here's 3 more. Point and click. So anyways, I'm attorney Walter Hnot. Just my thoughts on that particular question that was asked as part of that Nosker book. If you have a question or you want the most up-to-date information, that's fine. Give me a call. We don't do customized videos. We do general video tutorial responses. So if you want something explained to you in detail specific for your claim, go ahead and make sure you shoot me an email or give me a call. Don't post stuff in the stuff under these questions because I don't want you putting your stuff out there. All right? Have an absolutely wonderful day, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.